With the recent sale that Horizon has going on for some of their products, I just had to pull the trigger. Hey guys, welcome back to Revolution XRC, and today I've got a new rig to unbox. What we have here is the Axial SCX10II UMG10 6x6. Now this UMG10 6x6 has intrigued me since it was first announced. Shortly afterwards, Traxxas released the TRX6, and between the TRX6 and this UMG10 6x6, I was pretty sure I would eventually like to get one of them. With the recent sale that Horizon has going on for some of their products, I just had to pull the trigger. As you know, Horizon brands are rarely coupon eligible under various stores. The only time that they are coupon eligible are when Horizon Hobby has their manufacturer coupons. Right now they've got their coupon going on for 15% off, and the UMG10 6x6 is included in that sale. So I'll put a link to the description below where you can get this. I bought mine at A-Main Hobbies with the 15% off. So definitely look for that link in the description below. Aside from the price discount that I got on the UMG10 6x6, another reason that I decided to go for the UMG10 rather than TRX6 is because I have quite a few Axial SCX10IIs now. As far as I'm concerned, it makes more sense for me to go with the UMG10 6x6 because I can swap parts between them. And let's get to unboxing this. So you can see the front of the box here. It's got a nice action shot of the UMG10 6x6 in action. We'll flip it around to the back. Here we see that it comes with a Spectrum STX2 transmitter, a Dynamite AE5L ESC with drag brake, Spectrum S605 servo, and a Spectrum SRX200 receiver. And these are the same wheels and tires that you see in the UMG10 kit. And you can see here that the cab is a crew cab, unlike the UMG10, which is just like this front half portion of it. So this is an extended cab. Take a look at the top of the box. At the top of the box here, you can see some of the features of the UMG10 6x6. Like the UMG10, it has a hinged body system, so you could just flip open the body. It's got a chassis mounted servo, which is pretty standard for the SCX10II line. It's got all metal gears in the 3-gear transmission setup. So this is cool. I don't have one of these yet. All my SCX10IIs are kit versions with the Cherokee kit transmission, or the UMG10 transmission. So this will be a first for me as far as the SCX10II based vehicle goes. You can see here it's basically two AR44 axles in the rear, except for this front rear axle that has a output cover for the axle so that you can put a drive shaft between the two rear axles. Like the UMG10 kit, it's got a molded plastic grille and scale details. It's got extended frame rails to the full length of the UMG10 6x6. You could actually buy these parts separately and convert your own SCX10II if you wish to do so, and I can put a link to those parts in the description below as well. You can see here it's got a new 2-piece bed to go with that UMG10 crew cab, so it's a little bit different from the UMG10. And wow, you can see that it's got LED lights front and rear, so that's kind of a nice bonus. And you can see here that it's got the usual AR44 axle sets that you see in the SCX10II line. Take a look over here on the side. So you can see the UMG10 6x6, it's ready to run. Over here on the side, you can see some specifications on the UMG10 6x6. You can see the dimensions here. Basically, it's 23 inches in length, which is 584.2 millimeters, It's got a width of 9.1 inches or 230 millimeters and a height of 9.6 inches or 245 millimeters. The wheelbase is at 17.3 inches or 439 millimeters, and the ground clearance is at 2.6 inches or 66 millimeters, and it weighs around 5.5 pounds. So let's get to the good part and start unboxing this rig. Nice. Alright, I'm going to put this aside for just a second and let's see what else was in the box along with the rig. Included in the package, we've got the transmitter radio. So, here, got the Spectrum radio. You can see the trim here. Functions. So this is the Spectrum SCX10II radio. Pretty standard for an RTR. Kind of, you know, no frills. Pretty basic. Here's the binding plug for the receiver. Now I probably won't be using this. Of course, I have my FlySky systems. I have a GT3C and a GT5. I'll be using one of those. So back in the bag. Also included is the manual, and it's got a few stickers as well. And something you don't really see very often now that Horizon has taken over Axial, but you do see extra sprue parts. So you do see some nice scale detail ammo cans, some extra rod ends, bull horns. You know, they still got the markers for competition. Got a fire extinguisher here. So it's kind of cool that they still have some of these included in some of the RTRs or rigs that Axial releases. Because I know with the SCX10III, it basically didn't come with any of these extra pieces. So kind of nice that they do stick these with the UMG10 6x6. Okay, this is what we've been waiting for. And I'll start the video again once I free this from the box. You can see here this rig sure is a looker. In my opinion, I think it looks better than TRX6. You could have a different opinion, and that's perfectly fine, but you're wrong. Just kidding. I do like the UMG10 6x6 look better than the TRX6 though. I have a UMG10 as well, so it kind of fits in with my lineup. So as you can see here, same wheels and tires as the UMG10. The only difference being that the UMG10 has black wheels instead of this gray color. I love the gunmetal color. I mean, gunmetal is one of my favorite colors for the rigs. So you can see here the articulation in the rear. Look at it. This is cool. I didn't expect this to be the case, but the interior of the bed is actually black and it's not the same color as the rest of the rig. It does look like a two-piece design. You can see the screws here, so this bed right here is actually a separate piece, but nevertheless it gives it a nice look because it's a black bed with a gray body and not just painted all gray. can see here the spare tire as well as the rear rack. Of course, you can see here the really good steering angle, which is pretty normal for an SCX10II. Let's take a look at that. Yep, really good steering angle. Look at that. Wow. So that's pretty cool. Take a look at the rear axle portion. That's here. You can see that the two rear axles are connected by this drive shaft. This has a output diff cover right here. And you can see the extension rails right there that they used to extend the frame rails of this truck to be able to make it longer to fit the two rear axles. Like the UMG10, it's got this underbody body pin system, which is nice because it hides the body pins. As I said before, it's got a nice flip open hinge system. I really love this system. I first saw the system in my G-Made bomb kit, and shortly the UMG10, and now the UMG10 6x6. Pretty nice. Now, one thing that this UMG10 6x6 does not include is an interior. Now, the UMG10 kit does come with an interior. This one does not. It's bare inside. So you can see here, nothing inside. So I think they do sell an interior kit for this, but it does not come with one. Alright, here you can see that it's got the new 3-gear transmission with the metal gears. Well, it's not new, but it's upgraded from the original one with the plastic gears. You can see here that the front half of the UMG10 6x6 is the pretty standard SCX10II layout up to this point right here where the extensions start. So this front portion will look very familiar to you SCX10II owners. You can see here that the ESC has a not quite XT60. I think these are, what is this, an IC3 connector, and I think this is proprietary to Horizon Hobby or Spectrum. So this is not an XT60. I'll probably swap this out with a Hobbywing 1080 anyway, but if you choose to use this, you can either go with this connector or just take it off and put an XT60 on it. So you can see here, pretty standard fare of SCX10II style shocks. The what were these called? The Icons, but they're the all plastic version and not the metal version. So this is an area which we can upgrade, and we also know that these shocks aren't the greatest. They do leak. So that's definitely an area we can upgrade. You can see here the LED leads up front. And it's got the nice front bumper that the UMG10 has. So really familiar territory, which is part of the reason I picked this up. Like I said, the front half is very familiar, SCX10II basically. And once we get here, it's just adding on another axle and extending the frame rails. So some updates that I will be doing. I will be changing the motor, likely to a 5-slot motor. I will be changing the ESC, likely to the Hobbywing 1080. I also will be changing the radio system to my FlySky radio system. And as far as the wheels and tires go, I am still undecided on what wheels to go with for this rig. I do want something that looks more military-esque, just like these, but I do want them in metal. As far as the tires go, these are okay, but I don't think they're the greatest. I might replace these with Proline Grunts. Here you can see the LEDs for the rear lights already wired up, which is really cool. Kind of very cool that all that stuff is wired up for you already. Right here you see the standard wild bore WB8 drive shafts. These hold up really well. I don't need any reason to change them. Or I mean, I don't have any reason to change these at all. These are pretty reliable and they work great. These links, you know, they work. Axial rod ends are what they are. Eventually I'll probably replace the links as well. Now, to prevent this really nice cab body from getting bashed into much, I will try to see if there's any rock sliders, or if there are any rock sliders available for this here, so I can kind of protect this edge right here, because otherwise it'll get pretty flimsy and, you know, it might be damaged when we're on the rocks there. So that's an area of concern there. I can definitely see needing to add more front weight to this rig, just to give it more front weight bias. You can see here, I mean, as far as the steering angle is perfect, but we could probably use a little bit more front weight up here to kind of help this rig out. And, you know, I'll probably also take a look to see if, you know, maybe adding overdrive to the front axle of this rig. So it might help, it might not. I'll try it out. But, you know, stay tuned for my upgrade series on this UMG10 6x6. I'm really excited to get this project going. You know, really can't beat the price for this after that coupon. The coupon expires this month. It's pretty much 15% off. Once again, I got it at A-Main using the Horizon Hobby coupon for the rest of July. It's 15% off. That's basically $67 off of this rig. I mean, you rarely get a coupon off Axial rigs, and when they do have one, it's got to come from the manufacturer. 15% off of this rig is totally worth it, in my opinion. So I'll put a link to that in the description below. So overall, I think this is going to be a fun project. I have all the Axial SCX10II upgrades at my disposal. So definitely a lot of upgrade paths you could take with the UMG10 6x6. Definitely a lot of parts out there that you can use with it, which is a nice bonus for this rig. So I'm really excited to get into the 6x6 game. I think it'll be a lot of fun to drive. You know, stay tuned for the upgrade series once again. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned. Thanks for watching.